We will provide a detailed explanation of the 21st verse from Chapter 1, Prathamopadesha Rasamarana, of the Rasaratnakara Rasayankhand. Authored by Sri Nityanatha Siddha, this text is literally a treasure trove of classical Indian medicinal and metallurgical instructions. So let's dive right into the structural analysis of this incredible work. Bypassing any broad, long-winded introductions, we are looking directly at the physical text of this classical manual. What we have here is the 1939 Haridas Sanskrit series manuscript, brilliantly edited by Vaidya Jadavji Trikamji Acharya. If you direct your attention right down to the bottom right of the page, we are locating the exact structural position of our focus for this explainer, verse 21. This really grounds our entire analysis today in the primary source material itself. Okay, here is the original Sanskrit text itself. We've presented it in its Roman transliteration so you can easily follow along with me. It reads, Mulam va karavalyastu saindhavam va gavam jale. Tridinam karshamatram tu pibet sarava vikara jit. Now, this single, super compact verse contains a highly precise instruction regarding a compound medicinal preparation. To truly grasp what Sri Nityanatha Siddha is prescribing here, we need to completely dismantle this sentence grammatically. To extract the literal meaning, we perform what's called a padasheda, or word segmentation, mapping the Sanskrit syntax directly to English. Let's break it down. Mulam means root. Karavalyastu refers to the bitter gourd plant. Saindavam is rock salt. Gavam jale translates literally to in the water of cows, which specifically denotes cow's urine. Tridina means 3 days. Karshamatram dictates a specific measure known as a karsha. Pibet means should drink. And finally, sarva vikarajit means conquering all diseases. So, by breaking it down, the instruction emerges crystal clear. Drink the root of bitter gourd or rock salt mixed in cow's urine for 3 days in the measure of 1 karsha to conquer all diseases. And you know, this brilliantly illustrates the Anvaya, or the logical prose order, which reveals a simple yet highly specific material medica. The list of key substances is strictly limited to just 3 core active ingredients. First, we have Karavali, the botanical element, specifically the root of the bitter gourd. Second, Saintava, the mineral element, rock salt. And third, Gavam Jala, the liquid base, cow's urine. Interestingly, descriptions of these exact substances and their purported properties are heavily cross-referenced in other major classical texts. For example, the Bhava Prakasha Nigantu details the botanical properties of Karavali. The Rasarnava frequently discusses the use of Saintava in purifying metals, and the Shangatara Samhita outlines the foundational rules for utilizing animal-derived bases, like Gavam Jala, in complex formulations. It's absolutely fascinating to observe how the text efficiently pairs these elements together. This combination, a botanical, a mineral, and an animal-derived liquid base, is a structural hallmark of classical Ayurvedic and Rasa Shastra preparations. In historical context of processing metals and botanicals, such combinations were actually believed to trigger specific chemical reactions, enhancing the bioavailability or the toxicity-clearing properties of the medicine. The historical belief at the time was that the acidic and rich mineral profile of the liquid base acted as a powerful solvent and catalyst for the root and the salt. So the crucial point regarding administration here is the strict dosage. The verse is uncompromisingly specific, prescribing exactly 1 karsha. To put that into perspective, an ancient karsha roughly translates to a precise 12 grams in our modern equivalent weight. This tells us something huge. Despite the ancient setting, the approach to pharmacology was highly quantitative. The resulting outcome of the medicine heavily relied on this exact quantity of related substances being present. Furthermore, let's look at the duration. The treatment timeline is strictly defined as tridyanam. This means the resulting mixture is only to be consumed for a brief, highly concentrated period of exactly 3 days. This short duration strongly suggests that the historical practitioners viewed this specific formulation as an acute, potent intervention, rather than some daily, long-term tonic you'd take forever. When we synthesize the verse, a clear, sequential methodology takes shape. Actually, before even beginning the compounding process, classical traditions often required prayashikta, mental purification and atonement, ensuring the practitioner's mind was totally focused and reverent. Then, the physical steps begin, meticulously gathering the specific quantities of Karavali root and Saintava, combining them and suspending them in the Gavam Jala. Finally, administering that precise dosage of 12 grams daily for the 3-day cycle. Now, any classical explainer will tell you that the active medicine is really only half the treatment. Alongside it is the concept of patya, strict dietary guidelines. While taking this potent active preparation, patients were required to consume only specific supportive, easy-to-digest foods, things like mung yusha, which is a green gram soup, and oden, plain rice. This regimen was historically designed to essentially give the digestive system a rest while the medicine was being processed by the body. The text concludes the verse with the bold historical claim that this regimen is sarvavikarjit, targeting all diseases. We must objectively categorize this, right? It is a classical claim and a deeply held historical belief of the era. However, through the lens of modern scientific evidence, this remains an unsubstantiated claim. Yet, it prompts some really fascinating, distinct modern and scientific reviews. If researchers today query PubMed or Google Scholar with keywords related to these ingredients, they look at distinct mechanisms. In modern chemistry and pharmaceutical science, for instance, they might analyze the specific alkaloid extraction of the bitter gourd root when exposed to the specific pH of the liquid base and salt. In neurobiology, researchers study phenomena like lymphatic clearance, questioning if specific mineral salts create osmotic shifts that help clear cellular waste. In endocrinology, researchers study how extremely bitter botanicals impact cortisol overload and metabolic stress. So while curing all diseases is an ancient hyperbole, the isolated biological mechanisms of these ingredients remain very active areas of modern research. This leaves us with a compelling question. How might modern pharmacology analyze the complex chemical interactions of these three ancient ingredients? The key takeaways from our dissection of verse 21 are clear. The Rasaratnakara presents a highly structured, quantitative, and multidisciplinary approach to historical medicine. Its historical significance lies in its rigorous methodology, precise dosage, strict duration, and those paired dietary regimens. Its modern significance lies in the areas for future research it provokes, inviting modern pharmacology to decode the chemical interactions of these ancient compounds. On behalf of the Vedmata AI family, we humbly request that if you found our presentation informative, please share our video widely so that authentic knowledge from Indian Vedic texts can reach the masses. Let us all come together to participate in this Gyan Yajna, sacrificial offering of knowledge. Har Har Mahadev.